Times are changing rapidly and people need to be ready. The first thing I want to look at is the persistent inflation. It's permanent. People need to be aware of that. I will give you the details surrounding this. The second thing is the full stop. Could it be possible that entire industries grind to a halt? We will discuss that. And the third thing is the disruptions and deflation. There are so many factors to get into. I've got all of that and more. Let's go. So let's begin by taking a look at Bank of America. They have this interesting chart essentially showing the transitory and persistent inflation meters. You got the transitory at 100, that's a historic high, and persistent inflation is at 96. No matter how you measure it, whether you're looking at some sort of statistic coming out of Bank of America like we see here, or you do it at the grocery store, ultimately you can see that it is off the charts wherever you go. Kimberly Clark says inflation, supply problems aren't going away, and guess what? The stock is down. Quote, our earnings were negatively impacted by significant inflation and supply chain disruptions that increased our cost beyond what we anticipated. So what did they do? What are they going to do? Are they just going to take a hit on their corporate profits, as some suggest? No. We are taking further action, including additional pricing and enhanced cost management. Very, very nice term to use there, to mitigate these headwinds as it is becoming clear that they are not likely to be resolved quickly, aka permanent. Check that out. Enhanced cost management. Oh, I got an idea. Maybe, your toilet paper goes from a square to a rectangle and the sheets are thinner than ever before. And the same with your paper towels, and the same with, the bottles that things are made out of are the thinner material, cheaper material. They squeezing and pinching everywhere they can. Shoppers find discounts are in short supply this holiday season. And this is another way, because typically you would go to the grocery store or wherever it might be, and you see that particular product once a month. It's on sale, and when it does go on sale, you stock up a little while and you're basically buying it at that particular price. Now today, that is one of the factors that we are seeing consistently. Much less items being on sale. Retailers say fewer markdowns are products, bottlenecks, inflation, and their own efforts to rein in the deals. They want to make more money, and there are many ways to do that. And of course, this is what they're talking about. Industry executives and analysts say that consumers should expect to pay closer to the full price on a range of products this holiday season, including things from Nike and Coach and Ralph Lauren. They're giving you the same excuses all the time. It's a supply chain and so on. You know about that. However, the companies, this is the main point here, is that the companies, they're not going to take a hit on their corporate profits. You know that. You've got to know that. Though, oddly, some people are still finding that not being the case. But however, prepare for propane sticker shock. Exports have drained domestic supply ahead of heating season and prices have surged. What does that mean? You've got less disposable income if you are dealing with propane. I know I've seen a few comments before. Put that below. Let's discuss this, and also extend that out to natural gas, other forms of electricity and energy. What are you dealing with? I know some people, they get that contract, they're able to stretch that out and pay a fixed price. That is fantastic. If you can do that, I think that is very wise, okay? Let us know in the comments below, what are you doing? What are the strategies you are using right now today? Let's share that and let's discuss. It might not apply to some places, it might apply to others. Let's all share. Take a look. There are no immediate plans to tap into emergency reserves or limit energy exports outside of the United States, according to the Energy Department. They don't want to do this yet. Apparently, crude oil moving over $80 a barrel is not enough. The gas prices nearing historic highs. We are going into a time frame in which things are getting too expensive, and this is having an impact on the economy itself. It is not having an impact on the stock market whatsoever, of course, but we are just seeing things in general just moving up, okay? We are not at the highest, certainly for things like gasoline but it's getting quite high. It is having a negative impact. There's no doubt about it, okay? They do get more into that, but really, I just wanted to break this down a little bit further here in the Money GPS Insights. Some industries right now, today, are at risk of completely shutting down. As a result of this, prices could go parabolic. Commodities seem like they are the most bullish trade, despite the fact that they are extremely overbought in many cases. Now, if you appreciate these details, you gotta hit that thumbs up right down there. It supports the channel. Now you've seen a lot of these different factors been moving up, okay? Inflation's going up, price inflation of aluminum and wheat and natural gas and zinc, as you could see here. But what about gold? Gold has not seen the love of these other commodities, all right? It is around 1800 and it's seemingly been there forever. Now we're looking at this at a time in which inflation is so high. But I want to make it very clear, something about gold that's different from the rest is that it is the absolute most manipulated asset, that and silver, in the world by far. There have been so many cases where we have seen this company and that company, they had a rogue trader that, quite frankly, you read the emails that were released and they say, hey, everybody was doing it. I thought it was okay. I thought this was normal. Constantly, we see this once a month. There's some sort of rogue trader who's talking about the fact that, oh, by the way, everybody's manipulating the price downward. As well as if you want to check out GATA, they have a lot of details on that. Let's break this down here. Magnesium buyers warn crunch threatens millions of European jobs. Europe buys almost all of its magnesium from Chinese producers. Chinese exports have plunged due to the curbs on power usage. You see how one connects to the other, connects to the other. Big problems that we face today. We will get into China a little bit in a second here. I just wanted to show you what's been happening. There is a chart associated with it. Magnesium spikes. Just take a look. You know, a year ago, hard to tell on the chart here, but it's approximately $2,000 a ton. And for a brief moment, it went over 10,000. 5x in a span of 1 year. Right now, it's closer to 8,000 a ton. So we're still 4x on that. I mean, it's unbelievable. That's China's magnesium price. And it just shows you when you have one person you're doing, or one country that you're doing business with, it's a risk. It is a big risk. So they do get into that, just showing you the fact that this is a critical material for hardening aluminum alloys and used in everything from power tools to laptops. And it just shows you some of that and how the industry is truly dependent on these sort of things. That's the way it works. Supply of magnesium originating from China has either been halted or reduced drastically since September of 2021, resulting in an international supply crisis of unprecedented magnitude. The European Commission, we wanted them to urgently work toward immediate actions with their Chinese counterparts to mitigate the short-term critical shortage issue, as well as the longer-term supply effects on European industries. This is big, okay? Understand where aluminum goes into, all of the different components it's used for, and you can't get it. Big, big problems today. Think about how many industries are directly impacted by that. Now, this is talking about what's happening in China. The authorities have shown little determination to wean the Chinese economy off its dependence on real estate investment and the property market anytime soon, adding, this is Citigroup, adding that a nationwide property tax would have to wait another 5 years. This is what they wanted to, and the Hong Kong stock market had actually fallen, thinking that this was going to happen. You know what happens with a bubble. You introduce a new tax, and the market reacts. Okay, they're just basically, there's a few more mentions in here. China's state planner said that it urged coal companies to strictly perform their contractual obligations. That is, it continues to take measures to boost the supplies and so steady soaring prices. They want this to come down. They want the output to go up. Who knows what's really going on? Housing slump. China's home prices fell for the first time in 6 years in September, if you can believe it or not. But of course, the supply had been an issue. You've got certainly a lot of empty units, but the amount of units that were being built suddenly grinds to a halt. You've got concern, oh no, what's going to happen with Evergrande? What about all these different companies? There's a lot happening all at once. That could certainly turn around if it does not just crash and so on. Okay, we'll follow that. Stay tuned to the channel. If you give a thumbs up to the video, it is more likely to end up on your home feed, and then you will get these videos. You will be notified of them. China needs more coal to avert a power crisis, but is not likely to turn to Australia for supply. My friends in Australia, what do you think of this? Should you do business with China, a huge consumer? Should they get rid of all of this? No, we're not going to buy from you. No, we're not going to deal with you. Should they be shaking hands and doing business and having partnerships and be a good trading partner in general? Or should there be a new Cold War of sorts? You let me know in the comments section down below, okay? They're just talking about the fact that with this, in addition to what I'll get into in just a second here, Micron DRAM plant in Taiwan is disrupted by an earthquake. This memory is basically everywhere. And what would happen if suddenly this one company is disrupted? It looks like, by the way, maybe it's not a big issue. Maybe it's just a small and temporary factor, but this is Micron technology in the middle. And then they just show everybody connected in with that. The suppliers on the left-hand side. And of course, you got the customers like HP and LG and Xiaomi and, all these different companies, Apple. They're dealing with it. And then you got on the left-hand side just showing you all these other different companies that are essentially then going to be supplying this around. How many companies are affected? So you get that chain and it gets disrupted fast. But I wanted to leave you with something a little humorous. A man spent most of his business loan on one item. Feds say $57,000 Pokemon card. So if you bought some Pokemon cards, did you use the PPP loans, I guess this is, to buy that? Well, you wouldn't be the only one, because this gentleman apparently did the same thing. I just thought it was funny to see, one guy uses it to buy a Lamborghini, another guy Pokemon cards. What's next? Who knows, all right? I'll end it there. If you found the video informative, hit that thumbs up button. By hitting the button, you support the channel, and so I do appreciate that. If you found this video informative, then you will definitely want to check this one out, all right? Click it, and I'll see you there.